Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today we get to try out the land plane on the new property. Now, I went over to neighbor Tony's and I borrowed the land plane like I did last time. If you're not familiar with what a land plane is, it's like a box blade on steroids. A box blade can rip down the soil, it can rip off the high spots and drag soil to other areas of the ground, where the land plane has two cutting edges and it doesn't necessarily move dirt from one place to another, but it does cut down the high spots and fill in the low spots, so it gives you a really nice finish on roads and driveways. If you think about the edge of a piece of wood, and if you imagine you had a piece of wood that wasn't quite flat, what tool would you use? You'd use a plane. And that plane, as you run it across the wood, would knock off those high spots until you have a nice flat piece of wood. And that's exactly what the land plane does to the dirt and the soil. It knocks off those high areas. In addition, it fills in the low areas because it does drag some dirt there. So here on the property, the driveway is solid. It's a good foundation. It's in good shape. It doesn't really have any potholes, but it does have areas where the stone appears to have disappeared. And what that looks like is the silt and the dirt, the fine dirt, kind of comes up through the stone, and the stone gets pushed down to the bottom, so it looks like there's no stone there, but I know it's there. So my idea is if I can use the land plane and kind of stir up that stone, bring it back to the surface, knock that silt down below, and kind of resurface the driveway, maybe we can get away without buying any stone just yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this will do. I don't think this driveway's been scraped for several years, so stick around and let's see what happens. This land plane, made by Everything Attachments, is one heavy-duty piece of equipment. Again, it has these two cutting blades, both forward and reverse. It is 60 or 66 inches wide, I would say, and it's made with really heavy steel. Now, I'm not going to drop the rippers or the scarifiers because I don't want to tear up the driveway too much. I want to see if just running these blades across the driveway will be enough to bring the stone back up. If we have to drop these down a little bit, we'll do that, but I'm not anticipating needing to do that. Now, there is one issue that I see with this already, and I think we can correct that pretty quickly and pretty easily just by going like this. That's really baked on. There we go. All fixed. Now, I'm not going to angle this blade right to left or front to back. I want it to sit flat on the surface. That's my starting point, and hopefully I won't have to change that at all. Remember from last time we used this, the secret that Tony told me was that I need to be in four-wheel drive. I think it was medium because you want to have a relative good amount of speed. He said that speed is your friend. So we need four-wheel drive because this thing's heavy, and then we're going to hit this as quickly as we can. The other thing is, as I recall from last time, the first few passes you'll feel like you're not doing anything at all. And I remember that I thought this thing doesn't work, but then after a few passes, when you start breaking things up, that's when you start to see the difference. Well, I don't know how many times I can show the tractor going back and forth, but you get the point. And that is that in order for this land plane to work properly, you just need to hit it and hit it again and hit it again and just keep going over it. And just like that wood plane, you're just shaving off a little bit at a time until you finally get it down where it's nice and level. And this driveway is smooth now. I did a great job with it, and it brought up the stone like I had hoped. Also brought up quite a bit of dirt mixed in there too. So a few rains will come and wash some of the dirt away and make the stone pop and look a little bit better, but there's still going to be dirt mixed in on the surface. So if we don't want that, we have to order some more stone. But that's just visual. It's a great base, it's solid, and it's smooth, which is exactly what we want. So, of course, I want to thank neighbor Tony for letting me borrow his land plane. That thing is a beast, and going up the hill here, the tractor struggled quite a bit with it because it does have some, it holds back some of the stone. A lot of weight in the back of that thing, so the tractor did struggle getting up the hill. I had to take some of the weight off as I was coming up. But thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. It's great to have good neighbors, and I have 2 neighbors named Tony, and they're both great. So thanks again, Tony, for letting me borrow this. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity to share this and demonstrate it for you as well today. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time.